What's up, y'all? You know what time it is. It's about to be that time. About to be that time. That time.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Today, I'm talking about hAkI. Yeah, I'm gonna do that hAkI. Yes, I am.
Savage.
And we're back. One Piece 1047 is out. All right, and this is the end, people. I can feel it. We are setting things up to knock it all down. And what a knockdown this will be. A lot of people during the stream were bringing up Oda's message from a few years ago where he said it would be kind of boring, paraphrasing, if Luffy beats Kaido with just another punch, right? Well, a lot of people were saying that this was boring, that this was just another punch. Well, let me assure you that this is not just another punch, okay? This is a giant punch, which of course we've seen that before, right? Enies Lobby. Luffy knocked Lucci outside of the tower with a giant punch, right? But this is a giant punch the size of Onigashima, infused with hAkI, Conqueror's hAkI, Armament hAkI, potentially lightning, cloud energy, Gear Fifth. There's a lot of stuff going on here. If he decides that he wants to throw Red Hawk on there, a gigantic flaming hAkI Conqueror's Fist, that's more than just another strong punch, right? It would be the strongest punch. And this is quite a display of just hAkI in general, right? Which is what Kaido talks about.
And look who's talking about hAkI!
Drops a bomb on us. Roger did not have a devil fruit. He made it through the world just off of his hAkI alone. Now, we had suspected this as a community, but we never got it confirmed. It was never shown to us whether Roger did or did not have a fruit. Well, we know now. He did not. So Kaido says, abilities don't matter, basically. How strong is your hAkI? And Luffy was like, I got you.
I don't know a damn thing about hAkI. Let me be clear.
Grabs a hold of Kaido, throws his arm into the sky, and he takes a ton of damage. He's taking it all on because he's creating this fist. He probably could have dodged those wind slashes, but he chose not to because he is creating the biggest fist we have ever seen.
Ain't bad, y'all. Ain't bad for somebody who doesn't know hAkI.
And he tells Momonosuke that he's basically ending this now. That he needs Momonosuke's help. That Momo has to move Onigashima out of the way. Alright? And if you look in that little panel at the end, you can see Luffy. You can see Kaido as a dragon, you can see the giant fist, but then there is Luffy holding onto Kaido as this fist is about to come down. So let's talk about all the implications of this and more. This is all about Momonosuke, and we will see that when we eventually get 1048, which I believe will be heavily Momonosuke-centric. All right, we started with a little Momo, flashback. Right, this is the amp up because we need Momonosuke to gather his wits and everything. Now, there's a community theory out there that once the lanterns, come up from the citizens from below, that'll give Momonosuke that extra push. It's very possible, right? Momonosuke moves Onigashima out of the way, the lanterns come up, and Luffy knocks Kaido down to the ground, potentially all the way through Wano, right down below. Who knows where he goes? Maybe he crashes into where the town square is so that they can all see that, one of their captors, because obviously it's Kaido and Orochi, right? We'll get into Orochi later, but they need to see that Kaido is gone so that they continue to party on, right? Because they're saying once the sun comes out, they'll still be slaves. Right? Well, the sun's going to come out, and they're going to be able to see Luffy in the sky, the sun god, the liberator, right? Freeing them. Maybe temporarily. Maybe permanently. We'll see. But just as Vivi was the one to essentially stop the bomb, well, really Pell, but, you know, she took out the two numbered agents, Mr. Seven and Miss Father's Day, that were blocking the bomb, right? You had Shirahoshi, who was, you know, pretty much responsible for saving all of Fishman Island by controlling the Sea Kings, right? In tandem with Luffy taking out the main villain. Now, once again, will we have the princess of this arc, Momonosuke, right? He's going to move Onigashima out of the way, allowing Luffy to take down Kaido. This is, by all intents and purposes, the way that Oda has structured things in the past, right? And it would be great to get a curveball, but I don't know if we're gonna get one. This is the final blow. What else is Luffy going to do? His moveset is just based around all of this. He can stretch, he can bounce, he can grow into a giant, he can inflate himself, he can... This is what he's going to do. He can't create things. It's not going to be anything wackier than this. And by the way, this is already ridiculous. A fun thought that was brought up by Colt Zero over on the Discord was, what if Luffy knocks Kaido into the water, right? And because he has the fish fruit, his awakening allows him to swim. Luffy, rubberizing the ground, he should be able to rubberize the water, like Kuzan can freeze the water. So what if we get a sort of water battle between these two? Now, that got me thinking, you know, to build on that, what if that's the way that we incorporate the world government ships? Instead of annexing Wano, they get involved in Kaido and Luffy's fight, right? Now, I've talked about in the past that I want Luffy to get captured and become the ace of a, like, Marineford inversion, right? So what if this is the way that both Kaido and Luffy actually get captured and there isn't a winner to this fight at all? Previous streams and previous videos, I had suggested that Kaido and Orochi may be taken down at the same time, maybe even in the same spread, or back-to-back, or that Orochi would be the villain that they have to deal with after Kaido. You know, that he actually, you know, he continues on for a little bit afterwards. Whether that happens, you know, who knows, but it seems like Oda is still giving Orochi a purpose. I wanted the last time that he went down to be it. It was poetic. He created Kanjuro. Kanjuro, you know, created all of this fire, which was essentially Orochi's idea, which if you go back to the flashback, you know, at the beginning of this chapter, is highlighted because the fire to the samurai is not an honorable way to die, right? It's a coward's way out. So having Orochi then die by burning, right, who is a coward, right, just brings it all full circle. He created Kanjuro, Kanjuro defeats him, but Hiyori, you know, as a member of the Kosuke clan, is also partially responsible for that. Loved it. Now, I've always wanted Hiyori to come out and be a secret samurai, find a sword somewhere, get thrown a sword. I don't know if we're going to get that anymore, just by the way that everything is, but man, will I be happy if we do get that. Now, there's this guy that was in the story that isn't, I don't know, man. I don't know. He had blue hair. He was kind of important in the story, but who knows where he's been for dozens of chapters.
Savage.
Denjiro might show up, right? But that's also kind of weak, right? If Denjiro was away all of this time just to be conveniently placed into the moment when he can be able to save Hiyori, not strong enough. Denjiro needs to be doing something of more of a higher importance to me. Now, if he does show up and then throws his sword to Hiyori and Hiyori finishes him off, okay. I can get with that. But if Denjiro is the one to land the final blow, no. It was suggested in the stream that Frankie and Zoro get lost and they show up and interfere with this, right? And then a packed up Zoro is able to do something. Maybe, I mean, that would be cool, but Zoro is so sufficiently packed up, right? Like, Amazon Prime, taped all over, bubble wrapped, all of that. Like, my man is packed. So I don't see him doing anything. But no matter what, this is going to get wrapped up very soon. Okay? Dave Chappelle, wrap it up box. Get Orochi out of here. Get him out of here. I'm done. I'm done with him. Alright? A big discussion during the stream was, is this anticlimactic if Luffy beats Kaido here? Right? And I kind of had to say, not really. Because this is what the last 10 years has been leading up to. From Punk Hazard, through Dressrosa, through Zoe, right? Elements of Whole Cake Island. All of it is culminated to this. The first 2 acts of Wano and now. There is a lot of build-up here, and then even going back to Chapter 1, there is a build-up here with Luffy and his power. Now, people are upset that Luffy's at his peak. I think that that's just us being used to this underdog story, now being told that our main character is essentially a god, right? Is jarring, right? But Luffy's always been important. He's always been the chosen one, and that's the story that we signed up for. Oda hid it from us and made us forget these elements, right? But I think one of the issues with a lot of, just One Piece now and just the state of the fandom is that we're so used to Oda pulling the rug out from underneath us. Case in point, this chapter with Orochi, right? Perfectly great death for Orochi. Pulled out from underneath us. 1030 was a big issue with Kiku and Kinemon, and even Kanjuro, right? Kanjuro had a great death. And they came back for essentially nothing, right? Because now what gave Kanjuro purpose coming back, right? Kazembo is essentially doing nothing to Orochi now, but may still later. But the point is, you need to judge Wano when it is completed. You need to judge it from that lens, because going week by week, there may be some subtle disappointments that we just have to get over and eventually will. There's a lot of people that were upset with previous arcs in the past, but then once Oda got to the end and through time, and then, the way that he's shown that subtle things in the past actually meant something later on, people have gone back and said, wow, this is actually pretty good, right? Oh, this is great. This is amazing. Goda, right? He's Goda for a reason. So just trust in the man. He will clean all of this up if you're upset. So essentially what I expect for 1048 is a lot of Momo stuff, maybe even some more, flashback elements, like quick flashes showing, his resolve and him being able to produce a flame cloud. I think that Momo is going to produce his first flame cloud on command, and he's going to be able to move Onigashima out of the way. This has a timer on it. Luffy has to hit Kaido in the next chapter. If Oda drags it to 1049, that's going to be kind of crazy, but he's trying to do something big for 1050. So Oda is actually stretching things out right now. He's stretching it out to make sure that something happens in 1050. This chapter is a setup chapter. The pacing isn't the best, but it's still structured very well, right? Because it's creating this rally moment. The flashback from Momonosuke probably could have been truncated a little bit. We didn't get any new information from it, but it's still just there to hammer in everything that Momonosuke is going to go through in 1048 and beyond, right? Until this whole situation is over with. So that's what we're dealing with. Maybe the people will finally see Luffy, the sun god, as the skies open up and the sun is reflecting off of him. That would be a fun sight to see. I think we're going to get that. Now, beyond that, what am I expecting for 1050 that is supposed to be this big thing? Well, Kaido could be one of the villains that starts having his flashback as he's cratering, down into the ground, right? 1050 could be the reveal of rocks, right, in a flashback. Or if we're not getting that flashback right away, it could be when we find out who is on those government ships. Or, had a thought during the stream, because it was asked to me, if I had to choose any faction to come to Wano right now, who would it be? And I said, Dragon. I've always wanted Dragon in the Revolutionary Army to play in Wano to tie up the loose ends from Dressrosa and this whole Cypher Pole, Zero, world government saga thing. I just want that to all kind of just end neatly in a bow, Drunken Iron Ore, all of that. I do believe that it makes the most sense for Vegapunk to be on those ships, right? But if Luffy is supposed to win, and the people of Wano are not supposed to get subjugated into slavery and, create this meaningful desire to take down the world government for Luffy, right? To get back Wano for Momonosuke as they travel, to Laugh Tale and beyond and the final war, then the best case scenario is the Revolutionary Army shows up and takes care of the world government ships. They take out the factories, and lo and behold, they end up helping save Wano and clean it up at the end. I'd be okay with that. And that would be a great rally moment for 1050. Oh, and by the way, I know I've been saying it a lot, but Momonosuke is definitely joining the crew. Look at that color spread. My man is right there with the rest of the crew. He's joining. Get ready. And that's going to wrap things up, guys. We have a break again. So we're going to do another Theory for Theory. Stay tuned for who the guest will be for that. If you haven't seen it, our Theory for Theory guest last week was Evil, aka 3Evil. We had a lot of fun, a lot of great feedback on that one. VOD for that is on this channel. And to anybody who has been messaging me about the Nika shirts, I'm working on getting them back into the store. I did get them back in after they were taken down, and then someone came in and wiped the entire store and just said that everything is representative of One Piece, including the word Savage and my logo and Heat on Feet, and telling them these are all original designs. There is nothing taken from the series, but apparently they're One Piece experts over at Spreadshop, so we'll probably be moving to a new store. But as always, thanks everybody that supports Chrissy and I. Shout out to our members. Shout out to Anthony Rieger and Sanj Saab for rejoining. My man Diz of the Ghost for upgrading. Shout out to Kev, Simply Kevin, and Swifty Whiskey for joining. To Sites 318, Big Vern, and Mario's L for rejoining. And Isopod for joining. Thanks to everybody that supports Chrissy and I. It is much appreciated. We got a lot of stuff coming out. I'm working on a new live action video. I'm working on my Joy Boy is a Snake video, which is going to be a big video, so watch out for that. And we got the Theory for Theory on Friday. Okay, so we're going to be busy this break week. There's going to be some content, and I'm excited. All right, stay tuned, everybody, and I'll see you soon.
I don't mind doing that hAkI. I just want to talk that hAkI. What can I say? Told you I'd be around, watching you.
Savage.